Hello there, and welcome to the final part 18 of What If Yuji had the anti-gravity system. In this scenario, Yuji has an innate technique similar to his mother. Over the past 17 parts, many things have changed, all accumulating in this final part. If you guys haven't watched the previous part, check out the playlist linked below. So without any further ado, let's get started. Yuta finally extinguishes Maharaga just before the 5-minute time limit is up for Rika's complete manifestation. The knowledge he has on how Maharaga works comes from both Megumi before he was taken by Sukuna and Gojo. Yuta used different techniques to bypass its adaptation while stacking damage. He baited Maharaga using Rika while preparing his final attack, and as he was ready, he unleashed maximum output Jacob's ladder. Seeing that he still had time to use Rika, he immediately rushes towards Sukuna, who had just killed Higuruma with the slash that cuts the world. Yuta immediately brings Sukuna into his domain, authentic mutual love, which forces Sukuna to use Hollow Whisker Basket, blocking the short effect. Mai strikes Sukuna with a lightning blast, which he tanks before using RCT to heal himself. Mai's armor absorbs Kamutoke, Sukuna's weapon, which was confiscated by Higuruma's domain before. Hakari thankfully already had another jackpot, allowing him to stay in the fight. He slams his fists into Sukuna, who tries to block with his legs as his hands are occupied with holding the Hollow Wicker Basket. Hikari easily uses his cursed energy amped speed to tackle Sukuna, who still has Hollow Wicker Basket on. Sukuna laughs, congratulating them on pushing him this far, admitting that he wanted to save this form for someone else, but they forced his hand. Sukuna fully incarnates into his true body, healing all of his injuries while also gaining 2 extra hands, 2 additional eyes, and a mouth on his stomach. With that, any advantage the fighters had was lost, as Sukuna effortlessly fights Hakari while dodging all of Mai's attack. Yuta, even with Rika's support, is unable to land a decisive blow. However, Sukuna notices a wheel above Rika's head and realizes that Rika has consumed Maharaga's body part to obtain its adaptation ability. This means that Rika could become a threat similar to Maharaga if she adapts to a Hollow Wicker Basket. He gathers cursed energy by firing the World Cutting Slash or WCS, destroying the domain and dissecting Rika, killing her. Thankfully, before Rika dies, she creates a binding vow using her death to grant Yuta complete access to all of the copied curse techniques. As World Cutting Slash destroys the domain, Sukuna suddenly feels an immense pressure descend upon him. He immediately activates domain amplification, realizing who it is. He laughs, welcoming Itadori Yuji to the battlefield. Yuji, already in front of Sukuna, slams his fist into Sukuna's chest, sending him flying. Yuta immediately follows up with a thin icebreaker before hearing a clink sound. Above his head, the wheel of Maharaga spins one, causing Yuta to grow stronger as his copy ability evolves to a new level. Sukuna lands before deciding to go on the offensive, rushing towards Yuji and Yuta. Both of them dodge a punch, but Sukuna split kicks them away, rushing towards Yuta first. With the ability to adapt to any and all phenomena, Yuta could potentially develop a counter to Sukuna's arsenal. Yuji fires a piercing blood, striking Sukuna's face before making it explode using supernova, stopping Sukuna in his track. Hakari joins in, slamming his fist into Sukuna to send him flying. Mai follows up with another burst of lightning, but Sukuna counters with waves of dismantle, which Mai narrowly dodges. Yuta sends a Shikigami created from his own hair at Sukuna, who easily eliminates it with dismantle. However, Yuji seizes his moment, landing a devastating punch of Sukuna, making Sukuna realize something crucial. Yuji has awakened his shrine technique, using cleave in a way that directly harms his soul, similar to how Sukuna attacked Mahito's soul due to his knowledge of souls. This makes Yuji Sukuna's top priority rather than Yuta. Sukuna summons the remaining 10 Shadow Shikigamis. Since Maharaga was extinguished, all of its cursed energy has been transferred to the remaining Shikigami, greatly empowering them. Mai and Hakari take on the Shikigamis, while Yuji and Yuta engage Sukuna. Yuji activates Flowing Red Scale, Stack, and combines it with its gravity power, striking Sukuna with immense force while using Cleave to attack his soul, specifically targeting the barrier between Sukuna and Megumi's soul to free Megumi. Due to Yuji's training with Gojo, Yuji can use all 3 curse techniques together. Sukuna unleashes a barrage of slashes, hitting Yuji point blank and sending him crashing down. Yuta wields the G War Staff, which has the ability to see a target's future by attaching a manga panel to them and drawing blood. Yuta targets Sukuna's heart, forcing him to use RCT to heal the damage. Another clink is heard as Yuta's wheel spins once more, making him adapt further to his own copied techniques, strengthening them. Sukuna slams his fist into Yuta and unleashes a black flash, sending him flying. Yuji, already healed himself, creates a black hole and sends it towards Sukuna point blank, forcing Sukuna to use World Cutting Slash to cut the black hole in half. Yuji exploits the distraction and rushes Sukuna, landing a black flash that sends him flying right into Yuta's slash, which also generates a black flash as it cuts through Sukuna. Sukuna heals but swiftly ducks to avoid a piercing blood, this time fired by Yuta. Yuji manipulates gravity around him, pushing him outward, creating an effect similar to Almighty Push from Naruto. Sukuna crosses his arms, tanking the attack, while Yuta launches a gravity ball into Sukuna's body, erasing the gravity within him and forcing him to be crushed by the surrounding gravity being pulled into his body. Sukuna uses RCT to heal, but Yuji and Yuta do not let their advantage slip. Having the effect of Black Flash and witnessing dismantle, Yuji replicates the technique, sending out invincible slashes at Sukuna, while Yuta does the same, having copied Yuji's ability by consuming one of his fingers. Sukuna counters with his own dismantle before narrowly dodging another lightning strike from Mai, who has destroyed all of the Shikigami with Hikari, forcing Sukuna to do one thing: summon his domain. Yuta and Yuji activate their own domains and respond. Yuji with his pinky, middle, and thumb fingers extended, while his index and ring fingers are closed. Due to the clash of the three domains, the instability causes all of them to collapse before they are fully formed, forcing the battle into a stalemate. As a result, all three fighters exhaust their curse techniques. However, Sukuna heals his curse technique by destroying his brain and regenerating it again. He immediately goes for another domain expansion, forcing Yuji to use Hollow Wicker Basket, while Yuta deploys a simple domain to tag the incoming slashes. Mai and Hikari are also pulled into the domain due to Sukuna's range. Hikari survives due to having infinite cursed energy, but Mai has no other option but to be sliced apart, being killed by the constant barrage of slashes. Yuta's wheel spins again, adapting to all of the slashes hitting the simple domain, making the simple domain stronger. Sukuna decides to up the stakes, so he uses Divine Flames. Due to being inside his domain, the Malevolent Shrine's curse technique is suspended, imbuing all of the pulverized substances within it with the same explosive cursed energy as the Divine Flame. When he fires it, the entire city explodes in fire, almost killing Hikari. Yuta uses sky manipulation to divert the damage while Yuji creates a black hole that absorbs all this flame. Both of them decided to use the same technique as Sukuna, destroying a part of the brain where the innate technique was carved and then healing it right back, resetting the curse technique. Due to the black hole absorbing all of their flames in it, it grows stronger, making Yuta and Yuji use anti-gravity to hold on. Yuta grabs onto Hikari in the nick of time before he is sucked into the gravitational pull of the black hole that Yuji created. Sukuna uses domain amplification to resist the pull, but there's one thing that he didn't consider. The more slashes that attack the black hole, the bigger it grows, to the point that even his domain amplification cannot stop the gravitational pull, bringing Sukuna into the black hole. Sukuna attacks the black hole using wall-cutting slash, but the amount of cursed energy used is too much, causing him to destabilize his domain. As he falls to the ground, Yuji is onto him, slamming him and unleashing another black flash. Yuta takes his chance to fire a small black hole of his own, sacrificing a lot of his cursed energy. Hikari gives Yuta some of his cursed energy using RCT, healing Yuta right back up. The black hole gets bigger and bigger, pulling Sukuna once again, making him unleash another wall-cutting slash at it, cutting it in half. Yuji and Hikari immediately attack Sukuna, Yuji once again unleashing a black flash. This time around, Sukuna's output is dropping significantly due to Yuji targeting the barrier between him and Megumi, forcing Sukuna to use control. Sukuna forcefully opens another domain, but Yuji and Yuta also open their own domain, causing all three domains to destroy each other once again. Hikari opens his domain and hits a jackpot, rushing towards Sukuna and hitting him with a barrage of punches. Sukuna forcefully creates a binding vow to create another domain. He configures his slashes to have the similar effects to the slashes that cut the world, making every slash have the capacity to cut space. Hikari is instantly shredded, not fast enough to heal himself properly, and dies, leaving Yuji and Yuta to fight Sukuna. Yuji uses Hollow Wicker Basket to block the Shorret effect, while Yuta uses Falling Blossom Emotion to reduce the insane damage he is suffering, something he learned from Gojo during the 1 month time skip. All the while, Yuta finally adapts to the slashes in their entirety. Yuta realizes something. The adaptation increases his Kobe ability, as well as his cursed energy in its entirety. His cursed energy is changing to match the adaptation, just like Maharaga can. This means that if he suffers from more of these slashes, his adaptation can evolve into something that can counter the slashes that target the space around him. As the wheel spins once more, Yuta figures it out, a counter to Sukuna's wall-cutting slashes. He imbues the technique extinguishment technique he got from Hana in his sword, slashing at the shrine. The sword slash negates every single slash, cutting through the shrine and cancelling the domain. Yuji immediately takes this chance to pull Sukuna towards him, slamming his fist into the barrier between Megumi and Sukuna. This creates a black flash, and Yuji uses this opportunity to open his own domain expansion, Space Void. This domain is a complete space, devoid of any light. The short effect of the domain is that it pulls and pushes everything in its domain. The domain is a lethal one, especially given the fact that it can literally affect the opponent's atomic and subatomic particles by pulling and pushing. The victim will be ripped apart from all sides without being able to do anything. Due to Yuji's knowledge and experience of souls, he's able to configure his domain to pull Sukuna's soul out of Megumi's body before closing his domain, saving Megumi and making Sukuna emerge as a slimy creature. Sukuna is shocked at how destructive this domain is before congratulating Yuji, declaring him as a strong person. He lost fairly against Yuji and Yuta. Yuji just looks down at this slimy Sukuna, who tells Yuji to stand proud. While he might have hated the kid when he realized that the kid was a cage to him, Sukuna quickly grew curious and even excited over Yuji's growth. Yuji was the person whom Sukuna had the most fun fighting against, just like his fight with Gojo. Both of them were strong, and while he defeated Gojo, Yuji defeated him. Sukuna accepts that, acknowledging his defeat. With that, Sukuna melts in the air. Urame abandons his fight with Takaba as he kills himself, leaving Takaba confused. That's all for this part and this series. A total of 18 parts, the longest what if I have ever done. I don't think I will make another one like it. But if you guys really like the series, do not forget to like, share, subscribe and comment your thoughts on what I'm supposed to do next. So until the next time, cha-cha.